My name is Dr. Diane Chu, and I'm a dermatologist here in Seattle, Washington. There is no such thing as a healthy tan. In fact, technically, a tan means that it's your skin's response to injury to the sun's radiation. A healthy tan is actually a contradiction in terms. Pre-tanning doesn't work. So, I have a lot of patients who try and go pre-tanning, then they go to Hawaii and they still get burned just the same. So I never recommend pre-tanning. I always just recommend that you be really good about your sun protection, sunscreen, sun protective clothing, broad-rimmed hat, sunglasses. Absolutely not. They're really both bad. Like I was saying, a tan is really just when your skin is injured and it's trying to form more melanin to try to protect the skin. So any sort of tan is an unhealthy thing for the skin. The only safe tan is like the self-tanners. They're actually really good now. They don't make people look orange anymore. They actually look very natural. And the active ingredient is something called dihydroxyacetone, which is basically a sugar that interacts with the dead skin cells and it causes the pigment to change. But that's completely safe. That's what I use in the summertime to make my legs look tan. There's a direct correlation, and we know that people who are chronic tanners definitely have an increased risk of developing skin cancer. And in fact, in the United States, about 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer at some time in their life. And about 40 to 50% of people, if they reach the age of 65 in America, will develop skin cancer. Skin cancer is basically when you have malignant cells in the skin that are kind of growing out of control. And there's different types of skin cancer. Some types of skin cancer are not as life-threatening, like basal cell carcinoma, which tends to not spread to other areas of the body. Squamous cell carcinoma, which is the second most common type, has a slightly higher chance of spreading. And then there's melanoma, which is a potentially deadly type of skin cancer. The best way to prevent skin cancer is to really protect yourself from the sun. And practicing sun safety, for example, wearing a good sunscreen. I usually recommend an SPF 30 sunscreen or higher if you're going to be at the beach. On a daily basis, I recommend an SPF 15. And then reapplying it every couple of hours, also to protect yourself by wearing a broad-rimmed hat and sunglasses, because you can also get damage to your eyes with the sun. There are a couple different types of sunscreens. There's sun blocks, which are physical blockers made of like titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, which actually reflect the UV rays away from the skin. And then there's sunscreens, which are more chemical-based sun protectants that kind of help to scatter the UV rays and deflect it as heat. We do need to wear sunscreen even on cloudy days because, believe it or not, you actually can get quite a bit of UV exposure even through the clouds. So people have been known to get burned on cloudy days as well. SPF is sun protection factor, and it basically measures the amount of UVB burning that you get in the skin, or how much longer you can stay out in the sun without burning. So for example, if you normally can go out in the sun for like 10 minutes and you get a burn, if you have an SPF 15, you multiply that time by 15, so you can stay out in the sun 150 minutes without burning. So that's what SPF means. And so a lot of times when we say that it doesn't really help to wear an SPF much above 30, and that's just because by the time it's 10 minutes times 30, the sunscreen would have already worn off, because you need to reapply it every 2 to 3 hours anyways. So I still usually recommend an SPF 30 if you're out at the beach.